Okay, so now let's get this into Photoshop. We're going to do a File, Export, and this is going to be the revised Berlanga Crest. Again, I'm going to do one at 1200, keep it at RGB, write the layers, Art Optimized. Now that I'm in Photoshop, I'm going to open the Berlanga Art Optimized Crest that's been revised. And you can see here that we've got some nice thin lines. We go to Image, Image Size, and this is now, whoa, too much. Remember that I changed it to 1000 by 1000. I copied it over. So when you multiply that then by 1200, you end up with too large of an image. So if you've got 1000 by 1000, let's go ahead and try the 300 and see how that works. File, Export to Photoshop. This is the revised, and this time we're going to make it 300. See what that gives us. So I'm just going to choose the high option, writing the layers. Notice it didn't take nearly as long. And now I'm going to do File, Open, and get the one that says 300. Okay, so this is at 12% at 300. Image size gives us a 2800 by 3800. That's more in the ballpark of what we can work with. The other one is such a high resolution that it will take a long time to do painting, to do fill bucket, to do any of those things. It's really putting a tax on the system. So let me zoom in. You can see that this cross, this church, everything looks nice and sharp. Here, we can also do that, and it looks nice and sharp. But one is overkill. This is 25%. This is at 100%. So this would be 100%. And there's really no need, unless we had a little picture of someone in the window and then we wanted to zoom out of the whole coat of arms. So sometimes you do want to have two versions, something super high resolution, but for the most part, this is really what we're looking for in the 3000 range for this project. So let's take a look. Now that we've got these separate layers, and again, the church has lots of different paths. So we could turn everything off except the church and then merge the visible layers if we want to. Merge visible. Now we have a single layer with transparency that is the church. Okay, so let's start off actually by filling in the shield. Let's decide what color that shield's going to be. And we'll pick something here. How about a nice green shield? You must have the shield selected for the, well, how about a gradient? Let's do a nice gradient. This has dark green here. So now we've got a light green to a dark green, maybe make it even darker green. And then our shield could have a line on it. Now, if we don't have an area selected, that's what's going to happen. So make sure that first you select and then do your gradient. So we've got a nice gradient there. Okay, now we've got the church, so we can go into the church and fill in some of that. So let's pick a nice white color for the church. Notice I'm not on the church, so it's not selecting. And let's just say that these two parts of the church are going to be a nice white color. Let me use my paint bucket tool. And then we'll choose a little bit of gray stone. Choose some different areas of the church, like the roof and the steeple. And fill that in. Okay, and then we've got a couple more colors to choose. Maybe a nice blue for the tower. So let's do a selection. Actually, with the gradient, it'll fill it in. Let's see what happens if we don't have anything selected and we're just paint bucket. That's not too bad. Let's say I want to get that white color again. I can use the eyedropper. If you're just getting white, that's fairly easy. Actually, let's make a golden dome at the top. So pick a nice bright yellow and do the fill bucket on the top. Maybe a golden door as well. Golden frame, and then, I don't know, this is where you get to get creative and make up your own stuff. We'll do the frame around the windows. Okay, so now we've got that. Now let's do the cross. So let's make a white cross as well. Fill that in. All right, now we've got the helm. Got the decorations. Got a banner. Let's do the banner. That'll be the easiest for right now. So let's pick a 2-color banner. We'll fill in this side. Whoops. Got to be on the banner. And then we'll pick another color, maybe a little lighter, and fill in around Berlanga. So as you get the idea, you can start coloring things in. If we fill in the blade, then that part won't be visible. Same thing with the helm. You get to start using it as a coloring page and end up with a very custom one. Don't be constrained by what you see on the original for things that aren't representing different things for your family crest. But if you follow along with the same colors, then you will have a more accurate representation of history. It all depends on what you were able to find for your family. But if it's all on separate layers, then you can bring it in here as separate layers and have a lot more options the further you go.